So you guys are bored trying the same types of games and you want something new? Well, you are in the right place because today we're going to talk about the unique games for mobile that you may not have even heard of. Get ready for some games that will spark your emotions and make you think, laugh, and maybe even question reality. So without further ado, let's just check them out. All right, guys, let's start with this weird, unique, I don't even know what to call it. It's called Mitoza. Yeah, that's right, Mitoza. This game is like a bizarre trip down the rabbit hole where you start with a simple seed, and from there, things get, well, let's just say, really strange. You make choices, and those choices lead to the most random, crazy outcomes you can imagine. Plant the seed, and boom, suddenly you've got a bird, or a house, or a freaking bowling ball. It's like the game doesn't know what it wants to be, and honestly, that's the fun part. You'll be sitting there thinking, what the heck just happened? But trust me, it's all part of the ride. If you're into games that make you scratch your head and laugh at the sheer absurdity, Mitoza is definitely for you. Just don't blame me if you end up questioning your life choices after playing it. All right, next up is Gig Life Tycoon. This game is all about what it's like to hustle in the gig economy. You play as a freelancer trying to make a living by taking on different gigs. You've got to juggle jobs, manage your time, and try to pay the bills, all while dealing with the everyday ups and downs of freelance life. The game does a pretty good job of showing what it's like to balance work and life, figuring out how to pay rent, and squeezing in some time for yourself. It's like living the gig life, but without the real life stress. The graphics are simple, but get the job done, and the gameplay keeps you hooked as you figure out how to survive. If you've ever wondered what it's like to be your own boss, or if you're already doing the gig thing and want to see how you do in a game, Gig Life Tycoon is a fun one to try. All right, moving on to 60 Seconds. This game is all about making quick decisions in a crazy situation. You've got just 1 minute, 60 seconds to grab whatever you can and get your family to the fallout shelter before the nukes drop. The clock is ticking and every choice you make counts intensely. What makes 60 Seconds unique is how it combines dark humor with survival strategy. Each game is different depending on what you grab and how you manage your resources once you're underground. It's a mix of chaos, quick thinking, and just plain weirdness. If you like games that keep you on your toes, this one's definitely worth a try. Next up is Super Action Hero Stick Fight. This game takes the classic stickman idea and makes it even more intense. You control a stick figure hero, fighting off waves of enemies with some of the most over-the-top moves you can think of. Your stickman hero can do crazy stunts, launch enemies into the air, smash through walls, and even change into different forms for special attacks. The game is simple but super addictive, and you'll keep playing just to see what wild move you can pull off next.
For soldiers, war is about victory. For us, it was about getting food.
All right, next up is This War of Mine. This game puts you in the shoes of civilians trying to survive in a war-torn city. Unlike many other war games that focus on soldiers and battles, this one is all about the struggle of everyday people trying to stay alive amid the chaos. You need to make tough decisions about how to use limited resources, deal with hunger, and protect your shelter. The game is intense and emotional, showing the personal side of conflict and the moral choices that come with it. If you're looking for a game that offers a deep, thought-provoking experience about survival in extreme conditions, This War of Mine is definitely worth checking out.
"1986, the year when it all ended. Humanity barely survived. But there is a new threat."
All right, next up is Atom RPG. This one's a bit of an underrated gem in the mobile survival game scene. Set in a post-apocalyptic world, it's got that classic RPG vibe with a twist of survival elements. Atom RPG takes you back to an alternative 1986 Soviet Union, a world left in ruins after a nuclear war. Inspired by classics like Fallout and Wasteland, this game immerses you in a harsh, post-apocalyptic landscape filled with irradiated wastelands, mutant creatures, and remnants of a lost era. Combat is turn-based, so every move counts, whether you're facing off against bandits, mutated beasts, or even other survivors. Plus, your choices matter. The dialogue and decisions you make can lead to different outcomes, so you'll never play the same game twice. What makes Atom RPG unique is its survival difficulty mode. If you choose this option, the game gets pretty hardcore. Die in the game and you'll need to restart from scratch. No save points or second chances. Every mistake could mean starting over. But I know you'll probably go for the easier mode, right? So, if you're up for a real challenge and don't mind the possibility of a few do-overs, Atom RPG is definitely worth a look.
Hello, my name is Dr. Glenn Pierce.
Stand by for analysis.
Your life will always be a struggle. Isn't that why you came here?
All right, guys, next up is probably the most unique game on this list, Superliminal. This game is like stepping into a dream where nothing makes sense and everything is upside down, literally. Superliminal is all about perspective. You solve puzzles by changing how you see the world around you. For example, objects can appear larger or smaller depending on how you look at them, leading to some seriously mind-bending puzzles. Imagine picking up a tiny object and making it huge just by changing your viewpoint. It's like the game is constantly messing with your mind, and it's amazing. What makes Superliminal truly stand out is its creative approach to puzzles and how it plays with the concept of perspective. If you're into games that challenge your thinking and make you question reality, Superliminal is a must-try. All right, next up is Typo Man Remastered. This game is great for anyone who loves wordplay and platforming. You play as a character made of letters and solve puzzles by using words and letters in your world. What makes Typo Man Remastered unique is how it uses words to change your surroundings. You might need to spell out something like bridge to create a path or fly to help your character soar over obstacles. It's a mix of clever word puzzles and classic platforming action. Next up is one of the popular PC games of 2024 that's now coming to mobile. You can pre-register for it on TapTap. It's called Buckshot Roulette. Buckshot Roulette is a wild mix of strategy and chance. Buckshot Roulette is seriously one intense game that takes the concept of Russian roulette and cranks it up to 11. Instead of a revolver, you're dealing with a 12-gauge shotgun. And yes, it's as crazy as it sounds. The rules are pretty straightforward. You load a single round into the shotgun, nervously spin the chamber to mix things up, and then pull the trigger. What happens next? Well, that's up to pure luck. You could end up with just a click, or, well, let's just say it won't be pretty. The game's unpredictable nature keeps every round exciting and full of surprises. So next up is That's Not My Neighbor. In this game, you play as a security guard whose job is to keep a close eye on who gets into a building. It sounds easy, but you need to be really careful. If you're not, you might end up letting in some tricky doppelgangers. In That's Not My Neighbor, you're the doorman for a high-profile building. Your mission is to check the ID of everyone who wants to get in and make sure they're really who they say they are. If you're not careful, someone could slip by and cause trouble. If you like games where you have to pay attention to details and spot who doesn't belong, That's Not My Neighbor is definitely worth a try. And finally, at number 1, we have Beholder 2. First off, I have to say, I really like the art style. It's got this cool, unique look that really sets it apart. In Beholder 2, you play as a government employee in a totalitarian state, where you're tasked with spying on your neighbors and reporting their activities. The game combines strategy and moral decisions as you navigate through the game's dark, dystopian world. You'll need to balance your work duties with the moral implications of your choices, all while trying to climb the ranks in this oppressive regime. What makes Beholder 2 stand out is its intriguing blend of strategy, espionage, and ethical dilemmas. If you enjoy games with a strong narrative and complex choices, this one's definitely worth checking out. All right, folks, that's a wrap on our list of unique mobile games. I hope you found something new and interesting to play. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more awesome game recommendations. And hey, if you try any of these games, let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm always curious to hear your thoughts and see which games you're into. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Until then, keep gaming, and stay awesome.